I'm Diego. I'm originally from Mexico City. I was born and raised there, went to school there. And last year I got accepted to Booth's full-time MBA program. I'm about to start my second year. And yeah, I think that's in a nutshell my background. I majored in economics, like I said, in Mexico. After I finished school, I worked for a couple of years for a fintech startup company in Mexico. After that, I spent over 3 years in investment banking. That was working for a French bank called Société Générale. And that was it. That was it. I had some money saved myself, but it was not enough, obviously. These programs are quite expensive. So the first resource that I looked at, it was like federal aid from the Mexican government. Back then, last year was not a good year because of COVID and different factors, affecting funds from the Mexican federal government. So couldn't apply to that. Well, I applied, but I couldn't get any funds from that. So I decided to fund the first year myself. It was not until my second year, which I'm about to start, that I needed, a private loan. So that's when I started looking around for options. And there were, as you may know, there's plenty of options out there for students. But a few of my friends here at Booth recommended me to look at Juno, which I did. And long story short, I ended up getting my loan through their platform. So the one thing that really caught my eye was that they were guaranteeing the best rate in the market. In my specific case, I'm an international student, but I do have a US co-signer, so that made me eligible for this guaranteed deal that they have. So that was really what caught my eye. And also when you go to their page, they highly encourage you to shop around different, loan providers just to be sure that you are actually getting the best rate possible, which to my case it was. At the beginning, I got like if you want me, I can share the rate that I have for my loan right now. It's I remember it was 3.9 at the beginning with our lender, and then when I went through Juno, that went down with the exact same characteristics. It went down to 3.62. So that's almost 3 basis points that I saved myself throughout. It's a 12-year loan, so that's a substantial amount of money if you're a student. So it's pretty simple. You just sign up in their page, you become a member, and you fill out like a small survey just to give your profile, just full name, program that you're studying, what kind of loan you're looking for, and that's basically it, if I remember correctly. And once they have that information, they invite you to a certain deal that they have for you, right? So in my case, like I said, since I have a US co-signer, I was basically eligible for this guaranteed loan rate that they have. So once I submitted my information, I just was eligible for this deal. I clicked through it and I ended up with the lender that they have this year around. And you have to complete the application in the lender's webpage, not in Juno's. And that was pretty simple as well. So basically, like, given that I have a co-signer, my co-signer has to submit, her information as well. So that basically took like 3 days for us until we were like approved. But if a friend of mine that did the whole process by himself with a co-signer, he did that whole process in just 10 minutes, I think. So it's pretty straightforward and pretty simple. The best advice I could give anyone is just to shop around rates. Just be sure you're actually getting the lowest rate possible. Obviously, the more you look around for rates, the better idea you will have about which lender will be the best one. And to me, that was the deal that Juno had. So yeah, the best advice possible is just to shop around. So I would say like the whole process of it, it's a seamless process. It's pretty easy to apply, to go through the whole, process of applying. I think that's also, I see value in it. There's there's a few other lenders that you could get decent rates, not as good, but decent rates. But it's just not that user friendly, when you try to go through the whole process of applying. So yeah, that's one of the other benefits that I saw using Juno. They have like this part of their website in which if you get a rate from another lender with the same characteristics that you have your quote from the deal from Juno, if that rate is lower, then the differential, they will give you that cash upfront. So that's how they are guaranteeing the best rate. Even though their whole premise, I think they say like we should be able to give you the best rate possible because the deal they have. But if it comes the case in which that's not true, then they'll give you cash just to make it better. Yeah, in terms of amount, and this is not up to the lender or to Juno. It depends on the cost of attendance of your school. So you could apply to any student loan and just say, hey, I want to borrow $1 million, but there's no one program that costs that much, right? So even though you apply with that amount, at some point during the process, that lender will verify the cost of attendance with your school, right? And within the cost of attendance, you have tuition and then living expenses. And there's a certain amount given the conditions that you're in. For example, for me, I'm a married student, so my cost of attendance is a little bit higher than a single student, right? So once the lender goes through that kind of certification or verification process with the school, that's what determines the kind of the cap of the amount you could borrow on a yearly basis. So a co-signer is anyone that has like a valid US credit score and someone that has an income here. Basically, what lenders are looking for here is someone they could kind of charge, or they could put the risk on, that is a US citizen or someone living in the US, because as an international student you could just borrow money and then go back to your country, and it's kind of difficult to charge you what you owe, right? So yeah, and then this guaranteed deal that Juno has is only for US citizens or international students with US co-signers, because of what I just said, right? So in my case, it's pretty it was easy because it's a relative of mine, but I highly encourage anyone out there, if they have a possibility to get a US co-signer, it'll make substantially cheaper loans for them. If you're only an international student without a US co-signer, there are a couple of lenders out there that will lend you money too. I think they also have a deal for them, but it's just not guaranteed to be the best rate possible, and that's just because there's few lenders out there, so it's kind of a difficult thing to negotiate. But still, you could get good rates, I believe, from Juno's platform if you're an international student. It was close to 30 bits a year on my APR. So yeah, my loan was close to 100K. So yeah, you on a 12-year period. So you can do the math there. And I know quite a few, fellow students on my class and the class above me and the class beneath me that they've used Juno, and they're pretty happy about their experience. And like you said, the most important thing here is just the rate. Honestly, it's pure money that you're talking about. You're saving money, and as a student, that's you'll need it.